Did you know that approximately 80% of food products in the United States stores have some form of genetically modified organism or a GMO? According to an article called The Truth About GMOs, Are They Safe? What Do We Know? Written by WebMD, published in April of 2015. GMOs are defined by the World Health Organization as organisms whose DNA has been altered in an unnatural way. And since there are no laws right now that regulate the labeling of GMOs in the United States, consumers may unknowingly be consuming these foods every day. Over the past 2 decades, there's been a lot of debate over whether or not GMOs are healthy enough for human consumption. I've been doing extensive research on this topic for about 3 years now, and despite having the support of the United States government, GMOs raise serious concerns because they do not increase crop yield like they claim to, create problems for the environment, for human health, and for consumers because there is no labeling requirements currently. Opponents of GMOs point to studies that state that these organisms do not actually increase crop yield like they claim to. One of these studies was conducted by the International Assessment of Agricultural Knowledge, Science, and Technology for Development and was authorized by more than 400 scientists. This study concluded that GMO yields were highly variable, and in some cases, the yields even declined. So basically, these scientists believe that it is not a proven fact that GMOs increase crop yield like they claim to. Also, according to the research paper, Failure to Yield by Doug Sharon, yields from GMOs are not increasing as they claim to. And he believes that traditional breeding is much more effective in increasing production than GMOs. And it is also evident that GMOs pose a huge threat to the environment. The increase in GMOs has led to a dramatic rise in the use of pesticides. Bill Fries, a science policy analyst at the Center for Food Safety, argues that GMOs are built to be pesticide resistant and therefore they can use even more pesticides because they're not damaged by them. According to the Institute for Responsible Technology, GMOs and the pesticides associated with them have been known to harm wildlife. For example, many of the pesticides have been shown to cause birth defects in animals, and they've also shown to even cause organ damage in animals at very low dosages. In addition to harming the environment, GMOs also create unknown side effects that are potentially dangerous for people. When GMOs were first created, scientists began using genes for antibiotic resistance. And the presence of these genes in these products can have many harmful effects. Consuming these products may reduce the effectiveness of antibiotics for fighting diseases. For example, if a tomato with an antibiotic-resistant gene is consumed at the same time as an antibiotic, it can make the antibiotic not effective anymore for fighting the bacteria. And also, the genes can be transferred to humans, making them immune to certain antibiotics. And this can cause many harmful effects because it can include the resistance of treatment of deadly diseases that could normally be treated by antibiotics. And along with antibiotic resistance, studies have shown that GMOs can cause several health issues as well. A study conducted by Gilles Eric Seralini, a professor of molecular biology at Caen University in France, was done to determine the long-term effects of using GMOs. Seralini exposed his rats to GMOs and monitored them for about 2 years, and they discovered that many of the female rats died 2 to 3 times more quickly than the control groups. And additionally, the rats developed more tumors, liver congestion, and kidney disease at least 2 times faster than the control groups. Allergies are another harmful effect posed by GMOs. Many scientists argue that GMOs have created a rise in allergies because the consumers don't know exactly what they're eating. The writer of an article from the organization Down to Earth stated that there's a chance that a parent may unknowingly give their child a product that they're allergic to, and if the child is extremely allergic, this could cause severe issues to the person as well as the company, because there could be potential lawsuits. As a result of these many studies demonstrating the harmful effects of GMOs, it would seem clear that there would at least be some kind of labeling associated with them, if not being banned altogether. And in fact, about 40% of the world's population requires GMO labeling, including all of the European Union. However, the United States government and multiple companies who make GMOs have prevented the labeling of GMOs in the United States. And in 2006 public statement, Dr. David Sherbert of the Salk Institute found that the government does not actually perform their own safety regulations on GMOs, but they allow the companies who make GMOs to perform these tests. And this means that these experiments obviously have the potential to be very biased and not display the potential risks associated with GMOs accurately, because the companies may design these experiments to their advantage. And many of these organizations, such as Monsanto, have the power to suppress information linking GMOs to health problems, and this allows more GMOs to pass these tests and enter the food system and expose the public to more harmful effects. Until there is another healthy alternative to GMOs, consumers need to at least know if a product has them or not. And once they can identify if a product has GMOs, then they can make an informed decision whether or not to purchase them. Given all the information I stated on this topic, a strong case can be made against GMOs. It has been proven that GMOs do not increase crop yield, yet that is the main argument for them. And therefore, I would encourage you to do your part in educating the public about GMOs by voting yes on the label to label them for the next ballot. Eliminating or reducing GMOs greatly would significantly improve the health of the environment as well as the health of individuals. Thank you.